It was March 13th, 2019, a day that changed the life of a family and an entire community.
The worst day, most horrific day, your worst nightmare, your worst fears, they came true.
Joy's husband of 22 years, 44-year-old Chris, a Mount Sterling native, father of their 4 children, and now a grandfather, was on his way to meet her for lunch at the school where she taught, like they did almost every day. But Chris would never arrive. Chris was killed when a trucker with sleep apnea crossed the median on I-64 and veered into his lane.
The truck driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. When he did this, he went from the side of the road, the westbound, and he went into the eastbound, and he hit my husband.
First, Joy had to break the tragic news to their 3 older children. Then, to their youngest son, 8-year-old Connor.
You know, when you have to tell your 8-year-old that your dad's gone and that he's with Jesus, it truly is devastating.
And Chris's death devastated the entire community, from his work family at Kentucky Utilities to his church family and the thousands of lives he had touched over the years in their close-knit community of Mount Sterling.
Our community, he was so involved, and they just wrapped their arms around us.
Once the shock of his death wore off, Joy knew she had to get justice for Chris.
I knew that there had to be justice served. I was hugging my father-in-law, and he said, "Do you know who to call?" And I said, "I absolutely do." I said, "I'm calling the Hammer. I'm calling Isaacs and Isaacs." I knew Darryl had been through an accident or a wreck himself. He understands what our family is going through and the pain and the suffering. And I knew that someone who's gone through something like this is the perfect person. I called him, and the girls in the office were very nice, even from the very beginning. And so I knew then and there that Isaacs and Isaacs with their team would be able to come in and help us to figure out what was going on and to get the justice that I needed.
Joy's team of attorneys, paralegals, caseworkers, and investigators went to work on her case. Then came the insurance company's offer to settle the case for $1 million. Joy and her team at Isaacs and Isaacs said no.
We turned down the initial offer because it was nowhere near enough for what Joy and her boys had lost.
We just knew that his life was worth so much more than they offered, and we felt the insurance company, they didn't value his case and his life. Chris was an amazing husband, fabulous father, donated his time in the community, helped coach sports teams, and we wanted everybody to learn what kind of wonderful man this was, and the only way to do it was to have a jury decide.
When the end of November of 2021 hit, we were ready to go to trial.
After a week-long trial and 3 hours and 20 minutes of deliberations, the jury came back with a verdict.
At the end of the day, the jury decided to award us $10 million for what Joy and her family lost.
The jury absolutely got it right. The $10 million was exactly what this family deserved. It was the years that we put in investigating and working and just having the family believe in us that we could do it and letting us investigate and work and pour through documents. And Joy had faith in us, and that kept us going.
Our attorneys were just out of this world. They just blew it out of the ballpark. I would tell anyone that has had an accident, call the Hammer. Their dedication, their drive, their determination, they don't give up.
The team at Isaacs and Isaacs has been absolutely amazing. They have helped so much, and they got my dad justice. They really and truly create a family, and they make you feel so comfortable. They make you feel like you matter.
When you're going up against a trucking company, and when you're going up against a multi-billion-dollar insurance company, you need to have a law firm that has the resources, the personnel, and the experience to take them to court and win. And we showed we could do that with this verdict.
Our firm has handled so many serious injury, wrongful death cases. We've recovered over $1 billion for these cases. We know how to win. We got an amazing team. We got litigators that have hundreds of years of experience. What you're gonna get at Isaacs and Isaacs, we have compassion and we have empathy. We're going through this process with you. This is what we do.
Call the Hammer, because let me tell you, he treats you like family. They are so close to me. I mean, the lawyers, John and David, are just amazing. The girls, I just absolutely love them. I mean, they're my next sisters now. I've never seen anything like it. And I truly believe that they're a blessing. They have been a blessing to my family.
We can't bring a loved one back, but we can fight for them to get the justice they deserve.